To the ongoing war in Ukraine, Russia has hit the country with a wave of attacks. Today, parts of the capital left in rubble after more than 30 drones struck Kyiv, killing at least 4 people. Correspondent Evan Lambert is live in D.C. And Evan, this was a large attack.
Nichole, and it did cause major damage. Ukraine's defense ministry saying it shot down 37 drones in 13 hours. Of course, it was not able to get them all. Ukrainian police on Monday desperately firing off shots toward the sky, an attempt to shoot down a drone likely made by Iran. It makes impact, sending the officers running for cover. The skies over Kyiv tormented by so-called kamikaze drones, small, elusive to air defenses, and designed to explode on impact, hitting targets from up to 1,500 miles away. One landing on an apartment building in central Kyiv, collapsing units and trapping people in the rubble. Kyiv's mayor says 4 people are dead, including a woman who was 6 months pregnant. Officials rescued several seniors and a cat. The drone attacks targeting energy infrastructure as well, striking as families began their Monday and forcing dozens to shelter either underground or huddle in tunnels.
The occupiers threw everything they could against our forces, including 2,000 prisoners. They are among the mercenaries right there.
Meanwhile, reports continue that Russia is snatching up quite literally anyone to fight for them, from prisoners to random men in the streets or at homeless shelters. The fighters joining the front lines with little to no experience or training.
I think that speaks to the desperation that the Russian military currently confronts, that they need to just get people to the front line to just have an assault rifle that they can fire back at Ukrainian forces.
This after widespread protests, rare criticism within Russia, and some citizens fleeing the country when Vladimir Putin announced a partial draft last month. The draft and ratcheted up missile and drone strikes, which pierced the previous calm of Kyiv in the last few weeks, a likely response to sustained losses on the battlefield. And for anyone who is keeping track, so far the U.S. has provided Ukraine with $17.6 billion of security assistance, that since Russia's invasion in February. Nichole?
All right, Evan, thank you. Well, NATO is moving forward with its nuclear exercises, flying around 60 aircraft, including B-52 bombers over Belgium, the North Sea, and Britain. At the same time, Russian military forces are going through large-scale drills of their own. Retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton, former Vice Chief of the Air Force, joins us live. General Newton, why is Russia using these kamikaze drones so much more often at this point?
Well, as Evan reported, these kamikaze drones, they're actually made in Iran, are used to terrorize the civilians, the citizens of Kyiv and other parts of Ukraine. It's a terror weapon, and they're effective in doing just that. They're not necessarily in terms of going after significant military targets and so forth, but note that the attack first kicked off this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning Ukraine time, which is right at the height of their rush hour, and people are starting to go for work and kids are starting to go to school and so forth. So Putin is really on the ropes here, I believe, and therefore he's lashing and use any type of capabilities he has. And if it also means, again, terrorizing civilians, he'll do that.
Well, you know, you mentioned the fact that Iran is selling these drones and other weapons. We know that the U.S. is planning further sanctions. But is there any way to stop this at this point?
One way to stop it, and it's very difficult, if you think of a large global supply chain or certainly regional supply chain, try to intercept these weapons where they get in the hands of the Russians, but that's very difficult. And the Russian already has a stockpile or inventory of the drones. And so it's a weapon, and again, in terms of terrorizing and assaulting the populace and so forth, but the utility. And it was also reported that they're going after especially energy infrastructure because the war's come up, and they're going to try to displace the Ukrainian citizens from the ability to heat their homes and so forth. And it's a terror weapon that's being used against the civilian populace.
So let's keep focusing on Iran here. You know, the EU is trying to walk this delicate line of condemning Iran for helping Russia, also trying to negotiate this nuclear deal. We can't forget about that. How are they keeping these two issues separate?
Well, I don't think they're keeping them separate. If you recall last week when we talked about the G7, you had the NATO defense ministers meet in Europe and so forth, and you've got the upcoming G20 coming up in November. This will be a hot topic for what we saw with declarations by the EU and so forth and the NATO ministers. You're going to see that being propelled forward in ongoing major discussions, as well as communique between certainly U.S., NATO, and our allies to go toe-to-toe, not only against Russia, but those who want to help Russia, China, North Korea, Iran. And so this is going to displace whatever plans anybody ever had in terms of an Iran nuclear deal, which I frankly wasn't necessarily for. That could be for another conversation another day. But the aspects of that nuclear deal that we saw back in 2015-16 under the Obama administration, that to me is just about taken off the board because of Iran is supporting Putin, supporting Russia against this largest invasion, since World War II and so forth. So I think that's going to be definitely off the table for a long time.
All right, General, as always, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.